Try that shit again. Okay. The YouTube going live thing is all funky. Yeah, it's live now. I'll give it a sec. Maybe make sure it's on up on my phone. There we go. We are live. Hell yeah, brother. How's it going, dudes? Tonight we are playing some Call of Cthulhu. It's my first time any experience with this game. And doing a single player playthrough. So just me and good old Gary. Two very fine voiced gentlemen. Right, Gary? Oh, can you hear me? No. Gary's still muted. Sorry, Gary, you're still muted. There we go.
Am I alright?
Yep, now we're good.
Yep. Close to that. Right, we're live as well, yeah?
Yep. We are live. It's verified. Live and verified.
Right, so Call of Cthulhu is a different game than D&D.
Yeah, it is.
It's more investigation than it is than D&D's. Like, it's more combat. And you don't really want to get into combat in Call of Cthulhu.
No.
Because, I mean, you've probably seen it from the videos. Like,
You're gonna die.
It's more skill-based. Because there's a lot of skills. And
yeah.
You roll... It's mostly D100s.
Yeah.
A few times it's like D6s and stuff like that. D10s. Yeah, there's no way to really level up. You can increase your skills if you're playing through like a long-running campaign. But aside from that, like when you hit your hit points don't change.
Yeah.
So you're always just a fragile little human.
Always just a fragile little human.
Yeah. And this adventure is called Alone Against the Flames. It is part of the Call of Cthulhu starter set. And the PDF of this is actually available for free on the Chaosium website.
Which one? What is?
The PDF for this Alone Against the Flames.
Oh, okay.
You can buy the whole starter set in PDF on there as well, but the actual this adventure is free. Which is cool.
Very nice.
And yeah, so if you're ready, we can begin.
Oh, I'm so ready. Let me listen if you got any audio going. Sounds like a wee little something.
Yeah, it's a little bit. We got an advert after an hour when did it with Rylan. Because it's just a repeat of a single video.
Oh, let me see if I can turn you up. Apparently you're quiet on the stream. It's alright. Yep.
Do you want me to talk? Is that alright?
Let me check on my phone. That's the only. I mean, it looks. I can check on levels too, but oh, jeez. Now Gary's big Gary. There we go. That minimizes it. Okay, yeah, go ahead and talk.
Yeah, Call of Cthulhu. Blah 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 blah. What's that like? Oh god, I'm big again.
Yeah, it's good. Let me see. Takes a second. There's a delay. Still really quiet. What the hell, man? Oh, psst. Let me just turn that slider up, and now we should be good. All right, now you can talk. Go ahead.
Talk again.
There we go. That looks a
Sound
lot
levels
better.
okay?
Yep. We're even on the readout now.
Cool. Yeah, that's mute. I'll leave that up. I should close it.
There we go. Yep, we're good.
Right.
Oh, damn it. Damn it, Deech. Got too excited. Forgot to check audio levels. We're good, Gary.
Okay.
Yep.
So, Alone Against the Flames. Call of Cthulhu solo adventure.
Hell yeah, brother.
So I mentioned it before. It is like a choose your own adventure book. So it's not as open ended as an actual Call of Cthulhu adventure is. But still, there's a lot of. So I'll read out something, and then there'll be a few options at the end, and we go through like that. And with Rylan, it actually took almost like 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, and we'll go through your character as we go through it as well.
Okay.
And I'll keep track of the route. But I mean, if it takes 2 hours, then we won't have a chance to go through different options. But if we are ready.
We are ready.
Right. The sun is high in the sky, a merciless ball of heat. You feel scorched by the time you reach the bus halt in front of Osborne's drugstore. It's a relief to put down your heavy cases and take off your hat for a moment. You fan your face. It has been a long summer here in your hometown, and yet a curiously empty one. You look across the street to the grubby butcher's shop, the grocer's with its faded awning, and the shabby tobacconist. Mistrustful faces glare at you as they pass, eyeing your clothes and luggage. It was your parents' choice to live here, not yours. You were happy down south as a child, among Providence's white-walled houses and leafy churchyards. Perhaps this new job in Arkham will supply the change you need. Yet everybody you know in the world lives here. You know nobody in Arkham, not one soul. You ask yourself one last time if you are doing the right thing. The answer is here. None of your supposed friends have come to see you off. You are alone. Whatever challenges lie in Arkham, it will be a new life, and a brave one. A small grey motor coach approaches and rattles to a stop. You put your hat back on and pick up your cases. 2 young men with sullen expressions alight from the coach. One looks you up and down before heading away. The driver also steps down, glancing at you before crossing the road to visit the tobacconist. When he returns, he is rolling a cigarette between his yellowed fingers. He gives it a final twist and examines you as he reaches for his matchbooks. He is a thin man in his 50s, dressed in a stained shirt with the bus company emblem, yet his eyes are sharp in the dark sockets. Where to? You show me your ticket for Ossipee. From there, you will connect to Rochester and Portsmouth, before the coastal line to Newburyport, and finally, Arkham. You should be able to afford a rail ticket for at least some of the way. Otherwise, this will be the first of many long bus trips. The driver scratches the match and lights a cigarette. The end flares as he takes a draw. Then he exhales and gestures to the back of the coach. Luggage rack's up there. Right, so to your character sheet.
In my character
At the
sheet.
top. At the top, you've got the 8 characteristics. You've got strength, constitution, power, dexterity, appearance, size, intelligence, and education.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you a list of values that you need to allocate to them. So if you want to write these down, then just put them where you think. So we've got 40, 50, 50, 50, 60, 60, 70, and 80.
40, 50, 50, 50. And then what?
2 60s, 70, and 80.
Okay. We pick a career first, and that might kind of somewhat determine a little bit, or are we doing that in a little bit?
This is just like how you see yourself. The career determines your skills.
Yeah.
So if you have like a vague idea in mind, then you can allocate the values for these like that.
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of going to determine sort of how he is based off of the job, but I can do. What's APP?
That's appearance.
Okay. Like
So
how sexy I am?
Yeah.
All right, I feel like he's a sexy mofo.
Yeah, it's literally it's rather than the charisma stat on D&D, this is literally just the physical appeal of your character.
All right. Size, maybe like a 40. Maybe Oh, one of my 50s on size. X. Yeah, so I've got, wait, let me cross these off. 70, 50, 80, 60. Okay, and then let's do. Yeah. Ooh.
Can you zoom in a bit on the shared Discord screen?
Here, let me just bring it to a different. Does that work?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
So you got 40, 50, 50, 60. So you got 60 and another 50 left.
50 here. Yes, 60 here. Damn. All right. Okay.
Okay, yeah, so when you've done that, we can skip to the next bit. Yeah, the driver smokes and watches as you drag your cases to the back of the motor coach. The rack is set inconveniently high on the vehicle. You get a grip on the heavier case. If your size is 40, go to 23. If your size is higher than this, go to 38. If your size is 50,
Yeah.
so we go to 38. The driver continues to enjoy his cigarette, watching with keen interest as you struggle with the cases. You grit your teeth and heave the second one into place. Perhaps the residents of Arkham will have better manners. Right. The driver flicks a cigarette into the gutter and steps into the motor coach. Its engine coughs into life. You board, grateful that you will be the only passenger for the initial part of the trip, at least. With mixed emotions, you watch from the window as the tired avenues of your old home slip behind you, receding into the distance. For a few minutes, you can still see the church spire over the brow of a low hill. Then the road dips and it too is gone. Arkham is your new home. You will travel there and make a new start. Right. It's already on your character sheet. It's already filled in the values next to the attributes. So what those are, there's the half skill, the half value, and then the fifth value.
Okay.
So on your strength, the half value is 30, and then the fifth is 12.
Yeah.
So you don't have modifiers like in D&D. It's literally just the base numbers.
Yeah.
So depending on it's hard and then extreme. So the half value is for a hard check, and extreme is and the fifth value for an extreme check.
Okay.
So depending on what you get, so you roll a D100, depending on what you get, determines whether you fail, and you have to get lower than your skill. So if these ever increase, then your chance of roll underneath it is better. Yeah, and in the bit below that, you can see sanity and magic points. So your starting sanity is equal to your power, so that's 60. So you can you can click the 60 number on the block. Oh, like the numbers themselves, if you click 60.
Oh.
No, yeah.
In here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So click 60.
That's like your starting point.
Yeah, that's your starting sanity is, I don't know whether it can go up or not. It may be able to. But your beginning one is equal to your power.
So you can recover sanity, right? Or
I think there are ways to recover sanity, yeah.
Probably more like in a longer adventure.
Yeah, and magic points is it's your power divided by 5. So the extreme value on power is 12. And as far as I don't know if magic points are used in this adventure, but it might just be that I've never got to that path myself.
Okay.
Right, so those are marked, and off to the next bit. Right. The coach put us through the countryside. At first, the interior is stifling and your stomach lurches with every bend in the road. However, the driver opens his window, and by switching seats, you find a spot where the breeze hits your face. You soon relax into the journey, observing the quaint little hamlets that the coach serves. A heavyset woman boards at one settlement and gives you a polite nod. She gets off at the next one. The road rises a little, passing cornfields and orchards. The leaves are turning and the trees are alive with glorious reds and golds. You have just begun to doze when the driver takes a tight bend at speed. Right, so for your hit points, to work that out, it is your size added to your con divided by 10. Yeah, so it's 80 plus 50 is 130 divided by 10 is 13.
Okay.
So you can mark the 13 on the hit point sheet. Yeah, you also have a luck score, which is underneath that. So for that one, you need to roll 3 6-sided dice. So in the Discord, you can type exclamation mark roll and 3d6. Yeah, 11. And then times that by 5 to get your beginning luck score. So you have 55 luck to start with.
All right. I can find my. Yeah, there it is. 55. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Now, for the maneuver the driver just took, you need to make a roll against your dex. So roll 1d100.
I need to open a different thing for rolls. Is that not?
No, you need the exclamation mark roll, then space, and then the dice.
Oh. But can it not be caps? Maybe.
No, it must be able to, no. That's weird.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, 59. So that's against your dex. Your dex is 50, so you've rolled above, so that is a fail.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I'll read a little bit. It says here, you may be tempted to skip such rolls and simply pretend you always pass, but if Call of Cthulhu is a game of mystery and horror, the terrible disasters that can befall your character are part of the fun. You'll not necessarily have more fun if you pass every roll than you would have if you failed.
Yeah.
But you failed, so we go to 59. A desperate yell awakens you. You feel yourself slide from the seat as the driver spins the wheel and the motor coach plunges off the road. Too late, you reach for the seat in front. You fall into the aisle and your ribs crash against the side of the seat opposite. Breath rushes out of you. The coach stops with a thump. The driver leaps from his seat into the road. As you sprawl dizzy in the aisle, you hear a string of incendiary curses. The driver climbs back into the cab and sees you on the floor. He looks concerned and insists you back into your seat. You see what has happened now. A Fordson tractor has stopped in the road and he had to swerve to avoid this steel obstacle. Sorry, he says, all them fields and he has to pick the road to park. You alright? You don't think anything is broken, but you'll have a colourful bruise for the next few days. He backs the coach up a little and threads it around the tractor, glaring at the farmer. You have lost 1 hit point in this accident.
Oh, no.
So you can mark that down from 13 to 12 on the... Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. If you drop 0 hit points, you will fall unconscious and you might die. But you do heal hit points when you have rests. You resume your journey. The driver takes the curves with more caution than before. He glances over his shoulder at you a couple of times. Sorry about before, he says. That fellow was dumber than a hog. I'm Silas. What's your name? The accident was The accident was at least as much Silas's fault as the farmer's, but it doesn't seem shrewd to antagonize the man while he's driving you through the middle of nowhere. Yeah, make up your name and record on the investigate sheet, which you've done. You may add your age. For the purposes of this adventure, your character should probably be aged between 23 and 36.
All right.
Yeah. The coach turns onto a narrow road, which weaves uphill through woodland. Silas becomes chatty. Going to Arkham, eh? Can't say I ever heard of the place. Went to Boston once, didn't like it. Too much hustle and bustle. You got family there? Special someone in? The afternoon is wearing on. You see no harm in confiding in Silas about your new life. A job, eh? What's your line? Now, you have a choice of 5 occupations. You can be an antiquarian, a doctor of medicine, a journalist, a private investigator, or a professor.
What's an antiquarian?
It's like studying antiques and stuff.
Oh. I think maybe I'm a private investigator.
Yeah. Yeah, type it in. 249. You skirt around the details of the profession in your usual way, mentioning only that you have helped the police to clear up various problems in the past. Your heart pounds a little faster as you think of the post you have secured at the Blackwood Detective Agency. You've had enough of investigating marital infidelity and bank clerks on the take. It sounds like the Blackwood Agency is just the opportunity you need to cut your teeth on some real villainy. Silas narrows his eyes, but he says nothing. So if you scroll down to your skills,
Boom.
your credit rating is 20%. So you can type that into there, and it'll fill out the half and the fifth values. Right, you have skills in... Oh, you've got quite a few. Right, I'll give you, as with the attributes, I'll give you a list of numbers, and then you allocate them to the skills. So you've got 70, 60, 60, 50, 50, 50, 40, and 40. And there are... So you've got those wrote down, and then just at this moment, if you tick the skills that I'm about to read out, and then you can allocate the numbers to them.
Yep.
So you've got art, craft, photography. So if you type photography into...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's like different art and crafts things. You have disguise, law, library use, psychology, spot hidden, and you can either choose charm, fast talk, intimidate, or persuade.
Fast talk. Let's do charm.
Charm, okay. You can also pick any other skill except the Cthulhu Mythos one.
Okay. Just one more of whatever.
Yeah.
Do maybe locksmith. That might fit into a private investigator.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. So the values you've got now, allocate them to any of those skills.
Okay.
And just ignore any of the numbers in the brackets.
Yeah. So that's a base score, right?
That's a base. If you don't have, if you're not like proficient in it, then that's the base.
Yeah.
But if you are, then you just completely ignore that. You do. There will be a point where you can add bonuses to other skills.
Yeah.
And then once you've allocated them, just untick the skills as well, because the ticks are for something else.
Oh, okay.
The ticks are for if you carry your investigator on. The tick is for at the end of a session. You roll against the skill to see if you can increase your score in it. On the ones that you had success with during the actual game.
40. Use up another 40. Maybe... You. Maybe not. It might be fine. It might have just been temporary. Okay, so that's my other 40 gone. Do a locksmith of 60. Did I use another 60? Yeah. 60's gone.
260s.
Okay, let's do this of 50.
240s, 350s. You got a 70 to use as well.
Yeah, I got the 70. I do 350s. 1, 2.
You got law and spot hidden left.
Yeah, so 50. Let's actually do... Do charm is the 70 and...
The other 60.
Oh, those... Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, looks good, right? 350s,
Yeah.
240s, 260s, or 160. Yeah, 260s. Wait. Nope, there they are. And then a 70. Yep. Okay.
Oh, because you haven't pressed return on the law. That's why.
Yeah. All right. Good to go.
Just where to keep track of where I am. Right. Yeah, all unticked. Okay, 20 yet. Right, you realise Silas hasn't made a stop since the incident with the tractor. The motor coach winds its way uphill. However, your thoughts are interrupted as the road crests a ridge and you are treated to a magnificent view of the vista below. A creek snakes through the valley, breaking the rich autumn palette of the tree line. In the distance, the white mountains rise into hazy cloud. There is no settlement, not even a cabin, as far as the eye can see. Birds drift through the treetops, and you can just make out what might be two white-tailed deer lingering by the water. Perhaps you are making a mistake by moving to the city. Could you survive in your own this lush wilderness? You have a base ability in most skills, listed in brackets after the skill name on the investigate sheet. For instance, you have 20% in climb, and you can fill out dodge as half of your dex.
6, 50, 25. Okay.
Yeah, so now choose any 4 skills, which are not your occupation skills, nor Cthulhu Mythos. These are your personal interest skills, so you can boost each of these by 20 points. So you can include the stuff in brackets for these ones.
Take the base and boost it 20%.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in my head lore, I was a ship electrician, like in the Navy.
There's
So,
mechanical repair as well.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll do those two. So 30 on that.
Yeah.
Mechanical repair, 30 on that. Swim. We'll do swim. Got to be a good swimmer if you're in the Navy. Maybe brawl. No. See here. I feel like Navy men are brawlers. Let me check these just so I keep track of how many I've done. Mechanical repair. So that's just 3 so far. You said 6?
4 skills for this.
4. Okay. Let's see. Maybe navigate. Maybe navigate. Yeah, let's do navigate.
Okay.
Okay, and then I'll uncheck all those.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, and at this point it says you also calculate the half and fifth values. But character sheet's already done that.
Hell yeah.
And also in the introductory rules books you get as well, it has a chart of how to work out it has the half and fifth values every number. Just so you don't have to do the math on it. Right. Oh, okay. The motor coach rattles on through the hills, and Silas lapses into silence. The sky darkens behind you, pinks tinting the clouds as the sun descends. Finally, a welcome sight comes into view, a settlement on the crest of a hill. This doesn't look like the pictures you've seen of Ossipee, but perhaps you can persuade Silas to stop while you stretch your legs. Minutes later, a harsh stuttering from the engine interrupts your reverie. Silas frowns and rattles the gear stick. The motor coach falters in its ascent. Silas utters a curse you don't recognize and grinds his teeth, struggling at the wheel. You seem to inch up the hill until you reach the first buildings, low dwellings constructed from a rough red stone. Silas wrestles the coach into a small bay off the road. He scrambles from the seat and makes for the engine compartment. You can now choose to make a roll against either Drive Auto or Psychology. If you choose Drive Auto, then you need to roll equal or less than. But if you choose Psychology, it's going to be a hard success, so it needs to be the half the skill value.
Okay, so
And
I mean psychology is just barely better.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do psychology.
Yeah, so you got to roll 25 or under.
Oh, damn it, I did it in caps. I need to stop typing in caps so much. I did it twice.
Ooh. 77. That is a fail.
Oh, shit. Damn it. Okay.
Who is that going? That. Where the hell did that go? 194. Oh, that's right, okay. Yeah. Silas opens the engine compartment open and sticks his head inside. The hot metal pops and sizzles. He pokes at various components, then withdraws and wipes his brow, smearing it with dark grease. I ain't sure what's wrong. Might be the oil pressure. Might be something knocked off kilter when we took that spill. Can't do much until the engine cools, neither. And with the light failing, I reckon we'll be here through the night. He wipes his hands on a rag. The shadows from your surroundings are already long, and the air is chilly. You feel stiff from the journey, and a night in the rickety coach sounds unappealing. Silas sees your dismay. This is Emberhead, miles from any place. I only come through twice a week, but the folks here are good people. May Ledbetter keeps a spare room. She'll look after you. Up that alley, turn right, first house on the left. He scratches his cheek, looks again into the engine compartment, and spits on the ground. Meet me back here at 8 in the morning, and we'll see how we stand. So you have a choice. You can look for May Ledbetter's house. You can ask Silas where he will spend the night, or you can challenge Silas about the breakdown.
I guess I'll go find this house.
All right.
Ain't sleeping in no damn coach.
Yeah. You drag your cases between the sullen buildings. You feel surprisingly weary, considering you have spent all day sitting down. Silas's directions lead you to a modest dwelling with a slate roof. A nameplate reads Ledbetter, and underneath a sign in neat copperplate reads Lodging Room. The lane around you is gloomy, but a lamp flickers in the window. A breeze chills your face. You're not about to begin your new life by sleeping in the street. You rap on the weather-beaten door. After a moment, you hear footsteps inside the house. A bolt is drawn back and the wooden door swings open. A figure with loose curls and a rough-looking house dress peers at you. Her gaze takes in your travelling suit and your cases. Her voice is a slight Irish lilt. Hello. Should I take it as you're looking for a room for the night? You inquire as to her rates, suppressing the grimace. As far as you've seen, the village does not offer you many alternatives. Or you'll find them very reasonable, she says. You look tired. I'm May. Come inside and we'll talk over a cup of tea. The Ledbetter house feels cramped, with the low ceiling and simple fittings, but it is well kept and a cheerful fire crackles in the grate. The aroma of the tea is soothing and the cup warms your fingers. Have you come to Emberhead for the festival? Asked May. You can explain what happened with Silas in the coach, or you can ask about the festival.
Ask about the festival. Feeling social, maybe.
Well now, I suppose the festival is about the only reason folks come to Emberhead. I thought you had maybe come to study it or take photographs. Well, it's not tomorrow night, but the night after. I suppose it looks very strange to a passerby. May tops up your tea. The spout chinks against your cup. We've got the beacon, you see. One night every year there's a torchlit procession and we light the beacon on the cliffs. You've never seen the like of it. They say it keeps the spirit of the village alive for another year. It's a celebration. A celebration. She tails off for a moment, then blinks. But you didn't come here to listen to me blather, and you must be hungry. I can rustle you up a bit of stew. How would that be? You ask again about her rates, and May names a price so low you accept it without hesitation. The room is small but comfortable, and the stew dark and hearty. After dinner, you have a couple of hours before your usual bedtime. You can now talk to May some more, walk around to get your bearings, or turn in for an early night.
I guess I'll walk around.
Yeah, so...
Stretch the old leggies.
Yeah, 75. May's brow creases when you announce your intention to take a stroll. Mind how you go, she says. Emberhead's surrounded by cliffs, and we don't have your fancy street lamps here. Take the lantern and watch your step. Outside, you see what she means. The sky is overcast, and only a few glimmers of moonlight peek from the clouds. Without the heavy lantern, you would be walking in near total darkness. You cannot hope to get an overview of the village tonight. Maze Street is a narrow passage hemmed in by squat, dark dwellings. At the end, however, it opens up. A wide thoroughfare leads off to your right. A crude sign names it Silbury Street. To the left, a few yards away, your light picks out the crooked posts of a simple fence, and beyond that, the ground drops away into darkness. You take a couple of steps closer, but you can see nothing. Air from below cools your face. Then some instinct makes you look around. An ink-black figure stands in the road, about 20 yards behind you. It stares at you. You form the sudden impression that it will run at you and throw you over the cliff edge. This is unsettling. Seeing it has been spotted, the figure slips down an alley. You can return to the safety of the Ledbetter house, or confront the dark figure.
Confront is in like go and say like hey, or like confront is in like go and check it out.
I think just go check it out.
Okay, I might go check it out. I think he's a little bit, his investigative nature. I'm gonna go check it out.
Right. As you approach, the figure takes a pace back, then another. It slips down an alley between two buildings. To catch your target, you must make a track roll. So your track is 10.
Oh god.
So you got to roll 10 or lower.
All right, let's.
You can do it. Rylan made a couple of rolls.
Nope.
No. The figure moves fast, with almost silent steps. You are hampered with a heavy lantern in an unfamiliar environment. You emerge from the alley into a dusty courtyard, and you can detect no sign of your quarry. You scratch around for a few minutes, but the figure has gone. It seems unwise to continue your stroll through unknown dark streets while this threatening presence is abroad. You head back to the Ledbetter house. May lets you in and settles back in her chair. Soon she begins to yawn. I believe I'll turn in. When would you like your breakfast? And as May stands, you hear a clunk behind you. You look over your shoulder, but all you can see is a wooden door securely closed. May tuts, the young lady of the house. She'll have been listening to us. Ruth, come and greet our guest. There is a short pause, then the door creaks open. Two wide eyes peer at you from the gap, between tousled hair and a rough nightgown. What do you say? The eyes blink. Pleased to meet you. Now get back to bed. The door closes again. My daughter Ruth, 10 years this summer. She's a delight and a torment all in one. Don't worry, she sleeps in with me. She'll not disturb you. Good night now. You retire to your room. It is a little chilly, but you are too tired to worry about lighting the fire. The sheets are clean and the bed soon warms up. The silence outside is strange after living in town for so long, but you soon drop off. You dream of fire in the grate, coruscating colours shimmering through the dancing tongues of flame. At first they are tiny, almost microscopic, but they grow and grow until a kaleidoscopic inferno spills from the fireplace, spreading across the floor, up the sheets. You wake with a start. Daylight glints through the curtains. You get up and examine the grate, blinking the sleep from your eyes. It is quite cold. If you have taken any damage, you may heal 1 hit point back for your night's sleep. So you can mark the hit points back.
Just my 1 hit point.
Yeah, just mark it back up.
Okay.
May seems to have no running water, but has supplied some in a ceramic jug. You freshen up at the washstand and go in. She cooks a hearty breakfast and leaves you in peace to eat. At about 7:30, you are paid up, packed, and ready to go. You bid May goodbye, and she wishes you the best for your new career in Arkham. Yeah, you fail the skill, so on to 192. You're already tired of your heavy bags. Hopefully, Silas has repaired the motor coach and you can resume your long journey. A sourpuss he might be, but the old driver seemed to understand his vehicle well enough. You pause to check your watch, still 20 minutes early, and round the final corner. The motor coach is gone. You put your bags down and search the area, trekking up and down slopes and around corners. At the edge of the village, you trace the long road back as it winds across the hills. 8 o'clock comes and goes. There is no coach to be seen. A passing villager notices your bags. Looking for the bus? I heard him take off at first light. He's due back in 3 or 4 days. If you need a place to stay, Mayor Ledbetter rents a room. The man raises his hat to you and strolls on into the village. You curse Silas under your breath. Perhaps he went for parts, but you wonder if the old goat has stranded you here on purpose. May is doing laundry and looks surprised to see you again. Forget something? When you explain the situation, she offers to store your bags while you try to arrange alternative transport. You are grateful to relinquish the load. Nobody here has anything like a car. She strokes her chin and narrows her eyes. Maybe you could find somebody with a horse and cart for your bags. I could ask around later. Try Mr. Winters at the village hall. He'll know if anyone will. Or ask among the artisans. Their workshops are first left on Silbury Street. She reaches over and squeezes your wrist. Don't worry, I won't see you sleeping in the street, money or no money. You thank May and turn to face the village. You wander the streets of Emberhead without a particular destination in mind. The village is built on a relatively flat upland with splendid views. To the north, the hazy tips of the White Mountains reach to the heavens. To the south, the sparkling waters of Lake Winnipesaukee touch the horizon. The village itself takes less than 5 minutes to cross from edge to edge. You arrived on the winding road to the west. The only road leads to the south, following a lower ridge of land as it turns east. In the southwest of the village, an open grassy space borders a ruined church, its graveyard cresting the cliffs. To the northeast, the 3 main thoroughfares meet at a raised black metal structure. It looms stark against the sky. You have a few choices. You can ask for transport at the local general store, seek out the village hall, walk down to the lower level and check out the eastern road, examine the large metal structure, explore the church, or look for local people with their own transport needs.
We're gonna check out this black metal structure.
Yeah. Okay, you walk up the approach, the most central of the village's major streets. It points directly at the odd metal structure. As you emerge from the shade of the nearby buildings, you are greeted by a magnificent panorama spread from the north of the southeast. The last colours of fall tint the hills in a sleepy gold. The structure, by contrast, is made from uncompromising iron singed black. It supports an immense curved platform at the level of your head. Further struts snake up to a central point. It looks like they may have been some kind of sculpture at one time, but are now twisted and melted beyond recognition. An older gentleman passes, looking up at you with rheumy eyes. "Are you here for the festival?" he asks. "That's the beacon. When they light it, night after next, you'll be able to see it 10 miles away." He gives a little nod of satisfaction, then moves on, leaning on his walking stick. Now you notice bundles of wood, tied and stacked against the buildings nearby. Perhaps this festival would be an interesting diversion, but you really must head to Arkham as soon as possible. Make a spot hidden roll. So what's your spot hidden?
It is
55 against 50. That is a fail.
Yeah, but I'm gonna fail every damn roll.
Yeah, so you don't see anything. You are beginning to get your bearings to Emberhead. Would you like to explore some more? You may choose... Yeah, choose another option from those listed. Do not repeat, and once you've tried 4, we move on to something else. So you can ask about transport at the general store.
Yeah, let's do
Seek out the village hall.
the hall. Yeah. Village hall.
Village hall. Okay. The village hall backs against a cliff at the east end of Silbury Street. It's the largest building you've seen so far in Emberhead. It is, however, locked and shuttered. You walk around it, peering through gaps in the shutters. There seems to be one large room, presumably for community meetings, and a smaller annex that serves as an office and archive. One of the windows is bricked up. Back at the main door, you can see no posted opening hours. "Mr. Winters doesn't open up mornings this time of year," says a grey-garbed woman passing by. "Best come back this afternoon." You ask whether the office has a telegraph. "Don't know," she shrugs. "Who would we call?" "You'll have to try again later." So, back to that. So, general store, low level and check out the road, the church, or transport needs.
Let's go to the store.
This general store. The general store is on a corner beside the main road, just before it plunges to the south. The shopkeeper is a brisk, immense lady with a starched apron and strong shoulders. She looks hard at your unfamiliar face. "Transport? There's a motor coach comes through twice a week. Missed it? Truck brings in my supplies every second Tuesday, but he's not due until next week." She shrugs. It seems Emberhead is content to keep its distance from the outside world. But you are at the store. You have enough money to buy 1 or 2 inexpensive everyday items. And you can write them down in your sheet. Remember, the year is 1927. It stocks no weapons except a dusty hunting knife, which you may purchase if you want.
Yeah, having seen like that weird figure, and you said it would look like it was gonna charge at me, right? If I don't, I mean, would I wouldn't already have a weapon. Being
No, you wouldn't.
Okay. So we'll pick up the dusty hunting knife.
Yeah. Anything else you think of you might want to buy? Just everyday items.
I mean, I imagine I packed a lot of what I needed for the trip. Trying to think of what might be worth buying, but maybe nothing. I don't really need anything, I guess.
Just a knife. That's fine.
Dusty hunting knife. Weapon. give stats on that, or
I think if it comes down to it, then
Yep.
we see what it does.
Okay.
Okay. You have checked out the general store. You have checked out the village hall. You've checked out the structure. You can check out the Eastern Road, explore the church, or look for some local people who might have their own transport.
sounds like nobody wants to freaking get out of this town, so let's check out the church.
Church it is.
Take me to church.
You cross the street towards the church. As you glance to your left, your gaze alights on the large metal structure. Something bothers you about its positioning. You back up and look again. Yes, Emberhead's central thoroughfare points directly at the structure. This seems too precise to be a coincidence. You press on and drawn to the shadow of the church. The building is in a sorry state. The top of the steeple is missing, a ragged gash of splintered boards marking its absence, and the floors beneath it have collapsed. It appears to have torn through the roof of the main building as it fell. Only the back half is still intact. The white paint, which once covered the church, is yellowed and peeled. It seems safe enough to explore the rear section. Old pews are stacked against the wall, choked with mildew. Most of the windows are broken. You guess this church has been disused for about 20 years. There is little more to interest you. Make a ride roll.
Ride?
Ride, yeah. There's only 5% in ride.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
but for this, you have a bonus die. So what we did with Rylan... Yeah, ride's at the bottom. If you roll 2d10, and we take the first roll as the 1s and the second roll as the 10s, because when you get a bonus die, you can roll the 10s die twice.
Yeah. Okay. So 2d10?
Yeah, 2d10. First one will take us the 1, second one will take us the... So if you get a 10 on the 10s, then that's a 0. So that's 98. So you can roll in one more d10. I mean, you're not going to do it, are you? Because you've already got 5. So even if you got a 10, which would be a 0, you'd still have an 8.
Yep, I'm failed. Hit rate's maybe just too high, so let me just tune that down. Usually fine. It's been fine for D&D, but I don't know what's going on tonight with my internet. Staying connected to Discord just fine, but yeah, I think should be good. Should be good now. Yeah, I think we're good.
Yep. Yeah, what did you last hear? Did you hear it all right?
Sorry, yeah, I was trying to deal with that, but yeah, so we did all the 4 places, and now what?
Yeah, you're hungry now. You might have to get supplies from the general store, but then you say May Ledbetter come down the street with a girl trailing her wake.
Oh,
This
yeah.
must be Ruth. As she notices you, she races past her mother and approaches you with a smile. This is a different Ruth than the shy creature of last night. As she reaches you, she stops and stretches her arms up in celebration. She looks up into your eyes. Abruptly, the smile drops from her face and she looks several years older. Get out before the festival, she hisses. Get out! She blinks hard and scuttles back towards her mother. May approaches, wrapping an arm around her daughter's shoulders. She smiles. How are you getting on? Have you found transport? Startled, you explain the frustrations of the situation. I tried Mr. Winters in the village hall. He's always in on the afternoon. You'll be hungry by now. Help yourself to any food in the house. The door's not locked. You glance at Ruth, where she has squirreled herself behind her mother's leg. Her eyes implore you to silence. You can ask Ruth about what she said, ask May about what Ruth said, or say nothing.
Say nothing.
Okay. You take your leave of the Ledbetters and head towards their house. The door opens easily. In the low kitchen, you make a meal from stodgy bread and leftover stew. A little window offers a view to the mountains. If you learned one thing this morning, It was that Emberhead streets were little to occupy the visitor from out of town, but there is still about 5 hours of daylight remaining. You could take some provisions and the bare essentials from your luggage and set out in the hope of reaching another settlement before dark, or you could ask advice from this Mr. Winters. So you can prepare to walk out in town or head to the village hall again.
I think we'll do the village hall again.
Yeah, the village hall overlooks the lower north ridge of the village. You walk along Silbury Street to find it, conscious of the oppressive black metal structure framed at the end of the road. The shutters of the hall are open and some windows left ajar. There is no knocker, but a little bell above the entrance tinkles as you push the front door. Inside, a sturdy door to your left is marked private. To your left, an opening leads through to a bright room. You take a few steps inside. Benches line the walls, and there are 2 notice boards mounted between the windows. You can examine the notice boards or knock on the closed door.
Examine the notice boards.
Okay. The floorboards creak beneath you as you cross the room. You feel a slight spring in your step. Perhaps this room is used as a gymnasium for the village children. One notice board appears to be for the adults of the community and one for the children. The former looks neglected, featuring handwritten advertisements for household items and a yellowed note about telegraph pricing. There is nothing about the festival. The children's notice board has a schedule for weekly creche services and a number of paintings, obviously done by the children themselves. Most incoherent, though colourful. As best as you can tell, they depict fireworks, or perhaps the tale of Joseph from the Book of Genesis. One has lost a pin and hangs upside down. It shows a giant bird attacking Emberhead, or it might simply be that the artist has not yet mastered the subtleties of scale. Make a spot hidden roll.
Spot hidden.
So it's
when I
50.
did food.
29, that is a success.
Finally. Damn. About time.
Yeah. As the afternoon sun hits the floor, you notice something curious. The boards under the windows are newer than the boards in the center of the floor. The frames also show signs of having been replaced in the recent past. Perhaps rain leaked in and rotted the wood. You may now check mark the box next to spot hidden.
Just as I was about to tell you, I was just about to be like, hey, let me, I'm going to try one more thing, and if that doesn't work, fuck yeah. Sweet. All right, yeah, I never have internet problems, so this is very unusual. I don't know what's going on. I thought it was just my bit rate for OBS, but, whoa,
Yeah.
what the hell? But apparently everything's my whole internet's being spotty, but yeah. I don't know, maybe it was just I haven't reset my router in, like, ages, and sometimes that's just, you just got to reset your router. Okay. Bring back my screen. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
Maybe. Okay. There's
Right,
that.
what was the last thing you heard?
Coffee.
Coffee.
Asking me if I wanted coffee.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he gestures open the door behind him. Seems like a worthwhile opportunity, and you are a little thirsty. We headed into the office. Yeah.
Okay.
So you step through the door marked private. The other side of the village hall is in marked contrast to the public space. The room is compact, lined with shelves of books and file alcoves. One corner is reserved for a tiny pantry and what is presumably a water closet. You study Mr. Winters as he fills the percolator. A little thin on top, his hair is oiled and neatly swept back. His suit is a sober affair and well-tailored, even if the cut is a little old-fashioned. A lesser man working alone might have loosened his bow tie for comfort. On the desk against the opposite wall, you notice what looks like a telegraph set. So you can ask about the telegraphs immediately, or you can make small talk first.
Might make some small talk first. I don't want to be a jerk.
All right. The pot begins to gurgle as you exchange pleasantries with Winters. Living here, it's a trade-off, like so much in life. He looks past you at a high shelf. I could wish for access to a proper library, of course, but I know myself well enough. I'm strictly a dabbler, and the city's... His face wrinkles in distaste. Too many people, everybody rushing and shouting. We have a special place here in Emberhead, and someone must accept responsibility for keeping it so. That was my father before me, and now the duty falls to me. He lifts his chin and straightens up. This evening, as the sun sets, look out at the landscape around the village. We have peace up here, halfway to the stars. Are we not privileged? Is this not worth the hardships we must accept? He looks at you speculatively. This seems like a good time to ask about the telegraph.
Yep, I'll ask about the telegraph.
The telegraph? Much as we value our isolation, we do need the link sometimes. You were hoping to send a message? I must apologise. The line has been down for 2 weeks. I report the fault, but of course they're not so speedy when the problem lies in a rural area. I'm expecting a repair the day after next. I do appreciate how frustrating this must be. The coach is due in, 3 days? But I think he's going west. Perhaps you might engage a wagon. One of the farmers might... You explain that you have asked a few of the residents already, but to no avail. I tell you what. Winters pours you a steam a cup of coffee. The dark liquid smells rich and strong. When the repair crew arrive, I'll ask them to take you back with them. How would that be? They might want $1 or $2 to grease the wheels. The day after tomorrow. It's less than ideal, but it's the first real opportunity you've had. You can thank Winters and leave, or ask about his library.
I'll ask him about his library.
You make a small but flattering remark about a couple of the volumes on the shelves. Winters blushes with pleasure. Well, of course, they're not my personal collection. They belong to the village, he says. But I did select most of the recent items. This is the community's library, you see. I put up the private sign to stop people just wandering in from meetings in the other room. But this is really a public space. You scan the shelves. There is a sparse but respectable collection on mathematics and the sciences, passable sections on history and arts, and a shelf of literature. He has a few lowbrow novels tucked away in the corner, with tatty copies of Bizarre Tales magazine. Quality does not always equate to popularity, I'm afraid. Winters gives you an apologetic smile. You can take the time for some research in the library, or you can leave while it is still light outside.
Why not use the library?
Library? Cool. Winters is happy for you to spend the rest of the afternoon in study and offers you an upright but comfortable chair. You have enough time to pursue one line of research in depth. So you can read about the history of the area, read about the festival, read something from the sciences, or read some of the weird fiction.
Read about that damn festival.
You are not surprised to find there is no published work on Emberhead's festival. Winters pokes around and finds a cased monograph handwritten on yellowing paper by a Dr. Anilowski, an acquaintance of my father's, I believe. Winters says, the manuscript is somewhat difficult to read and you make slow progress. Anilowski speculates that the festival has its origin in pagan rites brought over by Celtic settlers, which celebrate the ancient festivals of Beltane, Samhain, Imbolc, and Lugnasa. There is some discussion of the struggle between the seasons and a couple of oblique references to the alignment in Emberhead. Anilowski suggests that the meaning of the festival slowly changed around the turn of the century. The monograph terminates mid-sentence at the end of page 28, just as it begins to discuss the modern practices. You ask Winters if he has the remaining pages. No, I'm afraid those have been misplaced, he says. Perhaps they are still in the library somewhere, but... He shrugs. I must make time for a thorough stock take. The afternoon wears on. You have not quite finished your reading when Winters glances out of the window and stands up. He clears his throat. Make a credit rating roll.
Credit rating.
So that's a 20. No.
Always with the
54.
fails.
I'm afraid I have some errands to run before dark, so I must close the library for the day. I do hope you will return tomorrow afternoon if you are so inclined. You leave the building with Winters, waiting as he locks up. You thank him for the coffee and access to his library. He disappears off down an alley. You hope to be away from the village before tomorrow afternoon, but it's good to know that there is a place you can occupy yourself. As the light fades, you return to the Ledbetter house and eat the light supper. May is unusually taciturn. Ruth's eyes flick to yours several times during the meal. There is an urgency there you cannot quite interpret. Afterwards, May ushers the girl into their room. You have already been in Emberhead for barely one whole day, and you already feel confined by it, both geographically and socially. The evening seems to offer little. You can do some stargazing, attempt to speak to Ruth, or if you have a previous appointment, you can follow up on that. But you don't have a previous appointment, so stargazing or speak to Ruth.
Ruth was the little girl, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
In time, May returns to the kitchen and busies herself clearing up. To speak to Ruth, you'll need to get May to leave for a short while. You help with the dishes and try to think of some ruse. In time, an idea comes to you and you ask about Silence and his friends in the village. May narrows her eyes. He knows Troy on the other side of town, she says. Not sure how to call them friends. More like an old feuding couple. But he probably spent last night at Troy's place. You ask May if she could visit Troy and ask if Silas mentioned any plans to return. May looks dubious. Right now? She asks. Right. Without looking at your investigator sheet, decide how best to influence May. You could try appeal to her emotions, explain how further delay threatens your career, or try to rush her into compliance. And then make a charm, persuade, or fast talk roll, depending on which one you want to go with.
Charm, or what's
You do have a very high charm.
Yeah. I'd imagine I'd go with the most charming option.
Yeah. So, yeah, make a charm roll. So you want to get 70 or below. Come on.
Yeah, right. Can I do it? Probably not.
32. There we go. Well, I suppose it will only take a few minutes. May fetches a coat and heads out into the night. You give her time to get clear, then rap on the bedroom door. Nothing comes but silence. Then feet pad across the floor and the door opens a few inches. Ruth's eyes stare through the gap, glancing from left to right. You explain her mother has left the house and ask what has been bothering her. Those eyes flick up to stare at you. It's tomorrow, she whispers. Same as every year. They took my doll. They'll take you if you let them. The conviction in her eyes is chilling. You press her. Who is she talking about? All of them. Everyone. They've been watching since you got here. You're marked. Her voice is hollow. 1 year, when I'm older, they'll take me. You hear footsteps approaching from outside. Ruth's eyes flash and the bedroom door slams. You turn back to drying the dishes. May enters and removes her coat. That man is a waste of time, she hisses and heads through the bedroom. Yeah, you may check mark the small box behind Charm. Beside Charm. Is that a success?
Finally, it says. Is that just 2 so far?
Yeah, the familiar surrounds of your guest room are becoming constrictive. The neat bed, small wardrobe, and dressing mirror have the feel of a prison cell about them. What are you still doing in Emberhead? Your new life is elsewhere. You lie in the bed and stare at a small crack in the ceiling. You turn over the day's events, thinking through the little details you spotted. You are certainly weary from the elevation and the fresh air, but do you still feel safe here? You can let yourself fall asleep or try to stay awake.
I think I might just sleep.
Sleep.
Kind of had it with this town. He wants to sleep and wake up like it's Christmas morning. You know.
Your eyelids are heavy, and wherever your reservations, blackness soon takes you. You dream again of fire in the grate, a small theatre of lights twinkling a tiny drama. The flames seem to consume nothing, almost to hang in the air. A moment later, they are around your sleeping form, filling the room with flickering colours. Blue, yellow, red, purple, they dance on and around you. The little tongues brush your flesh. You drift awake in the morning light. The sun is already high, but you do not feel well rested. You find yourself preoccupied with little details of the room, the wood grain of the door jamb or a chipped handle in the wardrobe. As you swing out of bed, your stomach gives a lurch and you lean too far over and nearly tumble to the floor. You blink for a moment. Perhaps you have an illness coming on. You get carefully to your feet. The air in the room is heavy and fragrant. You stare out of the window until you feel steady enough to leave. All right, your skill rolls today suffer a penalty.
Oh no.
So when you roll anything aside from luck, sanity, or damage, you have to roll the bonus die, and you take the higher roll. So essentially, it's like disadvantage. Yeah, so you have less chance of passing things.
Didn't even pass anything with the full chance.
That's not good.
Maybe I get all them high rolls out of the way, huh?
Yeah. The Ledbetter kitchen is empty, although bread and eggs have been laid out for your breakfast. No, empty, although bread and eggs have been laid out for your breakfast. There is a note from May explaining that she's taken Ruth out for a few hours. You make a quiet circuit of the village, pausing in unobtrusive places to watch the villagers. It is rather busy for this time in the morning. Yawning locals stream back and forward along the roads, carrying bundles of split logs to the site of what you've heard referred to as the beacon. You see two figures already up in its superstructure, arranged in the wood. The festival bonfire will be most impressive. But do you intend to stay to see it? You suspect by now that something is amiss here. While the villagers are distracted, you may do some illicit investigation, or you may simply leave town without looking back. So you can search May Ledbetter's bedroom, go alone to the village hall, take a close look at the artisan's courtyard, spy on activity at the beacon, or slip down to the east road and flee the town.
Take a close look at the artisan's courtyard.
Artisans. Okay. You approach around the back of the buildings in Emberhead's northwestern corner. By this time in the morning, you would expect activity in the artisan's courtyard, but the benches and anvils sit deserted. Your footsteps echo off the surrounding walls. One of the workshops is shut up and padlocked. You peek through the joints, but you can see nothing inside. You can try to crack the padlock, physically break into the workshop, or move to another area.
Let's attempt to lockpick it. Yes.
Yeah.
Not gonna work.
And you got a relatively high locksmith skill. Right, you examine the padlock. It is old and not particularly secure. There are plenty of metal shavings around that could work as improvised picks, but can you really pick the lock? Make a locksmith roll. You may double your skill for this roll only. So you can't pass then. You can't fail.
I can't fail?
If you double your skill,
yeah,
then you've got 120 for it.
Yeah, so it's an automatic pass.
Yeah.
Hey!
You can roll anyway.
That's automatic.
You can roll anyway if you want.
All right. Just roll a normal D100 or use the disadvantage thing, right?
You have you have disadvantage, but because it says your skill is doubled for this, then you still can't fail.
Yeah. Don't really matter.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Here, let me just
20. You would have passed anyway with that.
Yeah.
Because it's like 60, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you had a good chance of passing that. You succeeded. You push aside the door and step inside the workshop. The air is cool against your face, and you see light glinting through the eaves. The center of the room features a raised slab with a slight slope. An indentation beneath it suggests something sits there, a basin perhaps. Prone shapes are racked against the far wall, covered in red cloth. They look human. You can investigate further, or if you've seen enough, you can leave.
Let's investigate further.
I think that makes sense. You approach the red shrouded figures, expecting them at any moment to leap up and grab at you. There are 3. Each has a label hanging from its toes. Benjamin Kramer, 1st, 1927. Abraham Hollingsworth, 4/22/1927. Marion Phipps, 8/6/1927. You lift one corner of the shroud. Underneath, wrapped in tight bandages, is a thin but unmistakable human form. You're looking at 3 dead bodies. Embalmed dead bodies. Make a sanity roll.
All right. How does sanity? I just roll a D100 for that as well?
Yeah. But there's no disadvantage on the sanity rolls.
Ooh, 9.
9. That's going to be a pass, isn't it?
I did get the low roll or the high rolls out of the way.
Yeah.
Got them out of the way early.
Right. So, I thought you looked like a snoop. Like what you found, did you? A burly villager fills the doorway, blocking out much of the daylight. You can make out a dark apron and a thick beard. He steps forward, fist raised. You can surrender without a fight, or fight the artisan.
Oh man. I guess surrender. I don't know.
Surrender?
Yeah.
He's a big boy.
He is a big boy. Yeah.
Surrender?
Surrender.
The fading light from a narrow window tells you afternoon is giving way to evening. Your hands are shackled behind your back, so you cannot even lie down on the rough bed. A woman you have not seen comes in before you. No, not seen before comes in. Her face is wrinkled and her eyes dull. They do not meet yours, but she puts a cup to your lips. You can accept the drink or reject it.
Reject the drink.
Reject the drink. You turn your face away, and when she tries again, you dash the cup from her hands using the side of your head. The clear liquid spills across the floor. The woman gives a half shrug and turns to leave the room. You shout after her, but she gives no reaction. You soon become thirsty.
Damn it.
As the light fades outside, your little prison becomes dark. You can hear much activity around the building. Occasionally, an orange glow passes the window. The only comfortable position in the shackles seems to be to sit against the end of the bed, with your arms hanging behind you. You need to concentrate and come up with a plan. There is clearly no escape from your bonds. You do not know exactly what your captors want from you, but you cannot ignore the fact that they have spent the entire day constructing a massive bonfire. The door scrapes, wrenching you back into the moment. Orange light spills into the house from blazing torches held at the threshold. 2 large villagers step in and grab you. At least you assume they are villagers. They wear heavy black cloaks and their faces and hands are painted entirely black, save only for a red triangle centered on their left eye. You try to drag your legs, but they reach under your arms and lift you bodily from the bed. Outside, it seems that the whole village has congregated to see you. Every single one has a blackened face with the red triangle motif. Torches sputter and spill fire. You struggle, but you can see physical resistance is hopeless. You are marched to the central street and turn to face the beacon. The procession down the approach is slow and formal, save when you sense weakness and yank at your captors. A chill touches you when you see 3 human shapes carried ahead of you draped in red cloth. The beacon looms larger and larger, its dreadful silhouette a black triangle pointing to the stars. A low drone begins among the cloaked figures. Unbidden, the word mourners comes to mind. Smoke from their torches makes you cough. You feel heat on your face. As you reach the cleared area around the beacon, 3 dancers break from the pack. Young girls swinging balls of fire in spectacular arcs, drawing circles in the night air. One by one, they draw close to you and touch your forehead with sooty fingers. Each kisses you 3 times, on the left cheek, right cheek, then forehead. Then they whisper in your ear. The smell of kerosene fills your nostrils. Make an appearance roll.
Ew.
What you got on that?
Damn it.
Oh, it's probably more than that, isn't it?
Experience
Yeah, it's on the
is
top.
70.
Oh, 70. So close.
Can't I like use luck to fix that?
No.
Okay. I thought you could use. I thought that's what luck was for. You can like bring down your score.
You might be, because of the structure of this adventure.
Yeah.
It's not really an option you can do.
Okay.
Oh, it doesn't. You fell one for it.
Damn it.
Through your sacrifice, the village will be reborn, says the first answer. You pass from earth to air for all our sakes, says the second. Through incandescence, may you find rapture, says the third. The dance weaves off and disappears behind the buildings. As you arrive beneath the beacon, 10 villagers close in on you. Working with surprising coordination, they immobilize you and lift you up the blackened iron stairs to the raised platform. You cannot help but shiver at the sight of the central framework, twisted from past blazes, and what you can now clearly see to be fastening points for chain. None of the eyes meet yours as they lash you to the metal. The village sings now, something rhythmic and ancient, carved from old syllables. A second group ascends to the beacon, carrying the 3 red-draped bodies. With reverence, they arrange the bodies in a triangle around your feet. Then they withdraw, leaving you alone with the dead, shin deep in a sea of kindling. It seems the entire village is gathered around the beacon to watch you burn. Behind the face paint, you recognise May Ledbetter, and yes, that is Silas the coach driver standing at her side. The audacity and scale of the deception staggers you. A man steps up on a dais and raises his hands with quiet authority. The frame of his spectacles obscures the red triangle on his face. So we draw here together again on this night, as we do each year, and we give thanks to the one who will preserve the village against the fire of the void. You will be taken by the ones from above in our stead. Your death will bring life to our streets and bounty to our fields. It will safeguard our children and our elders alike for another year. We salute you. He bows his head. All around the beacon, bearers step forward and lift their torches to the edge of the raised platform. A ring of tiny flames flicker up around the perimeter. As they wink, the singing of the villagers drops into an unearthly rhythm. You can throw all your remaining strength against the bonds, or you can wait and see what happens.
Let's try and resist, I guess.
You're going to struggle against them?
Yep.
You're tired, and your flesh ought to be insufficient against the dark iron of the chains. Yet you can feel them give a little. There is weakness in one of the links. Make a hard strength roll. So this is... This would be 30 or below.
Ooh.
Come on.
Damn it!
Oh.
I'm just
Should we say
destined to
you
die.
did? Should we say you did? Should we rewind? I'll mark this point and rewind back afterwards.
God damn
So
it.
you failed.
Yep,
Right.
I failed. I'm about to die.
The flames snake across the kindling, catching and rising. Smoke rises and it becomes difficult to see the villagers. The 3 bodies surrounding you catch fire, blazing with sooty red flames. You begin to cough, the smoke enters your lungs and fight down the urge to panic. Flames lick at your legs. Ooh. Your eyes water. You are shrouded in smoke. It might be your imagination, but you think you can feel a slight give in the chains. You throw yourself against them, giving no thought to how they bite into your wrists. You take 1d6 hit points of damage from the fire, which isn't going to kill you. But we can take mine if you want.
Yeah.
So you say,
this would be
yeah,
great for D&D, man. My rolls are great for other games.
so you take 4 points of damage from the fire. That doesn't reduce you to 0, does it?
No. I was at full, so it takes me to 9.
Yeah. Make a strength roll.
Strength roll.
Just do it normally rather than working out the
14, finally something.
14. That beats a hard one as well.
Yeah. Finally something, man.
Desperation lends you strength and you yank at what you guess to be the weak point in the chain. It breaks. You throw the chain off, stumbling across one of the red shrouded corpses, heading away from the watching villagers. You cough, your hair and eyebrows smolder. You take another 1d6 hit points. Another 4 points of damage. Where are you? Yeah, you're still going. You're still going. You leap from the conflagration on the far side of the beacon. Your heart lurches momentarily at the sight of the sheer drop beneath you, but you land a few inches short of the edge. You roll to extinguish your burning clothes. Your lungs feel singed. Everything hurts. The chant of the villagers gathers in intensity. You peer around the beacon. They don't seem to have noticed your absence amidst the billowing smoke. Most of them are staring into the sky. You crawl as rapidly as you can for the cover of the nearest building. With the villagers assembled at the beacon, the streets are empty and you are able to pad away from the blaze. You must get out of town before they finish. The chanting seems to accelerate as you round the corner at the southern road. Here, parked against the side of the general store, you have your first piece of luck since reaching Emberhead. A bicycle. You learn to ride one of these in Providence. You settle into the saddle. Your burned flesh protests at the contact. You can wait and observe what goes on at the beacon, or you can just ride out of town.
Freaking dip. I'm gonna get the hell out of Dodge.
It takes a moment to recapture the skill of riding the bicycle, but after the first turn to the east, there is a long downhill out of Emberhead. You hear screams and crackles above you, but concentrate on balancing and working the pedals in your weakened state. You've had too many hopes dashed in this abomination of a village. You keep your head down and ride away. 20 minutes later, with no sign of pursuit, you stop for a breather at the top of a hill. You can see Emberhead rise in the distance. The entire village appears to be ablaze. The dark column of smoke above it will be visible for many miles, but if the village is as isolated as it seems, help is unlikely to arrive in time. You watch the place burn for 5 minutes, then you mount the bicycle again and ride towards civilization and dawn. The end.
God.
What an escape at the end.
That was so stressful. God damn it.
Wow.
All those fails, man. And then I managed to pull it out at the very end. And you're like, do you want to just pretend you got it? I'm like, no. It's just
and then you
do
one more chance.
Oh God. So stressful.
That is another ending that I haven't seen.
Yeah.
It deviated from Ryland's at one point. Because he was able to get a meeting with somebody. And so he still got sacrificed, but he was able to do something else at the end.
Oh yeah.
And I've never done either of them. I escaped the town early once and I got killed by a bear.
Oh God, that was stressful.
Yeah.
That was good though. That was really good. But
yeah.
Oh my God. All those fails, man. I passed like 4 rolls and the last one was like at the very end.
I put anything on Hellbound, I realize.
It's alright.
Exactly which bone, yeah. Yeah, I can link the. I don't know if I already did it.
Yeah.
At the top.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I linked the. Quick start your sheets now, because like I said, because this is available. When did the music stop? I didn't realize the music stopped.
It stopped like after my internet crashed. I think it was kind of done. But yeah, I was just like trying to get through the through some more stuff in case my internet decided to go poopy again, which it did for a second. I think it gave people buffering, but yeah, it's all right. Everything is recorded, so
Yeah.
I may just repost it from the recording.
The free stuff. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I'd love to play that with at least another player or two, That would be way fun.
I mean, that one is just a solo, but
yeah,
there are
like
another 3
more of
adventures
these,
in the starter pack.
Yeah, more just of this general game in general.
Yeah, and like I said, you can download that for free. I've just linked that. You can download it for free from the Chaosium website. Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Didn't use them. I think if you bought the knife and you end up outside of town and fight the bear,
Yeah.
I think that's why it's there.
Makes sense. It's a hunting knife. Oh.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, I mean that one is different to the other ones because that's like basically you just read through the stuff.
Yeah.
But the other ones are actual adventures.
Yeah. No, I mean that was fun. Like I can. This is one that you can play on your own, right?
Yeah. And
yeah. So this is just a choose.
So
that's how a choose your own adventure works. You go through and then you get a number, and then it says, "Yeah, go to this number." Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was way fun. I'd definitely even just play that myself.
Yeah. The PDF as well. It's properly bookmarked. So it has the section that says go to page like 120 or something. You click 120, it takes you instantly there.
Oh wow, nice.
So it's like it's a hyperlinked PDF.
That is really good, really nice.
So you don't have to scroll through everything.
I also liked how well the character sheet worked too. Yeah,
it's nice really, it fills it out for you.
Yeah. In Acrobat.
Yeah, so because you can save that character sheet if you want. And I'll tell you what, should we do the do you want to level up? See how it works again. Because the ones you ticked. Yeah, so the skills on the character sheet that you ticked, they're the ones that at the end of a session, you get a chance to level them up.
Okay.
So what you do is you roll D100 against any of the ones that are checked. So it'll be one against charm and then one against spot hidden.
My 2 skills that I used?
Yeah, then it's only the ones you actually succeeded on as well.
Yeah. Wait.
So you have to, but on these ones you have to roll above the skill.
Didn't I? Oh, did I successfully lockpicked, right? Or, yeah, right?
I don't think you got on that because it doubled your chance of success on it.
Oh, okay.
But I'll let you take that. Right. I'll let you try that as well. Because the higher your skill already is, the more difficult it is to actually increase it.
Yeah.
Because you have to roll above it. And then as if you're failing it, so you actually do it.
Yeah, now I'm going to roll under on everything though. Just watch.
And if you do that, then you roll a D10, add that to the points.
All right, let's go with the hardest one first. I'm going to roll against my...
It's charm.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah, because charm 70.
Oh, I got to roll over. Damn it.
Yeah.
Where the hell did my Discord window go? Over here? Yeah, it's right here. Okay. Roll against charm. Nope.
See, so that's not so that charm doesn't increase.
Okay.
So
Now locksmith.
42.
What I
Nope.
say, Gary? I'm gonna fail every single one of these.
Yeah. Right. Above 50 for spot hidden.
Right.
No.
No level ups are God damn it. Of course. I was just destined to fail this whole adventure. I mean, it led to a good ending. It was fun.
Yeah. You will be able to heal up, though. Back to 13.
Yeah.
I think it's actually quite a good way of leveling up, because if you're just doing skills, then you can take your slightly more seasoned investigator into a group with less experienced ones.
Yeah.
And there's not going to be that much disparity between the characters, because you all have like a range of hit points and it can't be more than 20.
Right.
And even your skills, because your chance of increasing skills decreases as you get better in them, it's going to be rare for someone to have really, really high skills.
Yeah. Yeah, so you could play like with anybody.
Yeah, so you can, I mean, because it says at the end of this, you can, because it says you survived and you can take this character into one of the other adventures. Yeah, and there's 3 other scenarios in the book, in the starter set. Let's see how many there are for. There's also pre-gen characters. Yeah, so the next one is for 1 to 2 players, plus the keeper. That's Paper Chase. Then there's one called Edge of Darkness, which is for 2 to 5, which is a longer. That's like 1 to 3 sessions. It says on that.
Yeah.
And then the last one is also for 2 to 5. It's a shorter adventure, that one. But yeah, it's like 1 to 3 sessions is about the average on these shorter adventures.
Yeah, I think
so especially
probably the one that I listened to was like a pretty short one. It was probably about a 3 to 3 session game.
Yes, especially the next one. There's no reason why I can't run that for you and Rylan.
Yeah.
Well, as best as I can, seeing as these are the only books I've got for it.
Yeah. That would be fun. That was way fun. I'm definitely looking forward to going through it with just on my own for fun sometime, or even like going through it with my girlfriend or something sometime. We might have fun with it. That's crazy. Like, God damn, I'm getting sacrificed.
Yeah, that's why I said I can rewind to this if you want, because I didn't know whether you'd have another chance to get out.
Oh man, quick save.
Yeah, but you can only do it in that type of thing.
Yeah,
which is fine, because sometimes I just want to know what happens if I went the other way.
Yeah, if you didn't get jacked right then.
Yeah.
Burn alive. Oh man.
Shall I tell you what happened in Rylands?
Yeah, I want to hear it.
What did he do? He went, I can't remember where the choice was, but oh, that's right. He went to investigate the road and then spotted someone and chased after them. And that person gave him a chant that he could perform, like taught him the chant. And then with that chant, when he was sacrificed, he did the chant, and basically the heavens opened and the entire town was destroyed.
Oh damn.
So he was taken off to like a celestial place. His spirit left, and there's like a 5-mile crater of where
What?
the Emberhead used to be.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What the hell? The range of this game. I would not have
Yeah,
expected that to be an available ending.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's hard. I mean, you'd probably have to like search the end through the PDF and see how many endings there are, because I don't know how many there. Because, like I said, I've not seen either of these endings.
Yeah.
Because I never got the bike one. I ended up running by myself
Freaking bike.
into the forest.
Couldn't find a goddamn ride out of this place, so that I find a bike at the end after I'm all singed up and burnt to hell, probably naked, riding out on a bike.
So the feel of this one is like the standard 1920s Cthulhu.
Mm-hmm.
And another interesting one I think would be good is the Pulp Cthulhu, which is like a more adventure-y one, which is like an action type of like an old pulp action film.
Yeah.
Where I think where fighting is more of an option.
Yeah, also in that video, that one video that guy was talking about, he said there's like a Roman one.
Yeah, I think it's like Cthulhu Invictus or something. There's a Roman one. There's a Acton Cthulhu, which is set in the Second World War.
Yeah.
There's definitely either futuristic or like a space one. There's so many different ones. There's one set in like Victorian London.
Oh yeah, the space one would be cool. Yeah, this game's pretty sweet. Never knew. I was glad to go through it.
Yeah, there's another YouTuber I watch called Seth Skorkowski, and he has a lot of stuff on Cthulhu. And he has some. Where is it? Yeah. He's got a 9-part review of Cthulhu, followed up by stuff on some of the adventures.
Damn.
He even reviews the starter set.
9-part review.
Yeah, he does. There's an intro and then stuff on character creation, building the party, skill mechanics, combat, chases, sanity, the mythos and magic, and then final thoughts. I should search you that, see if there's use magic anywhere in it.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, Rylan kind of had magic, right? I mean, well, I guess it was just a chant, but
yeah, I mean, because it didn't use magic points, so I'm wondering if there's anything in this that uses magic points. Oh, there is. There is one bit where you can cast a spell.
What the hell?
Oh, so I think during the sacrifice, you can cast an actual spell, but I have no idea how you get to that bit.
Right. Backtrack it.
Oh, you find it. Yeah, you find a ritual in a book, and yeah, you can commit up to 10 magic points to the spell.
Should have gone back to the library. Oh, it was probably one of the books I could read, huh?
I think there might be something in the library, yeah, because there'll be like spot hidden rules. Well, because Ryland found a map of the town. Yeah, there's a lot more. Oh, wow. What? There's an ending here. You have been killed by a collapsing church roof.
Yeah, I mean, They were saying it was like unstable.
Yeah, an immense weight pounds you to the stone floor. Your neck snaps even as your skull shatters.
Oh, man.
You have been killed by a collapsing church roof. It was a bold but risky plan. Why not try the adventure again? That's right, yeah, there's a bit about the bear, and you can fight against the bear. But I didn't win.
Especially if you got a knife. Did you get the knife?
I don't think I did get the knife, no.
Yeah.
I don't think I visited the store.
Got to go to the store.
I didn't on that one, so when I ended up outside and I found the bear, and I just didn't, and I just lost. So I got it at the village and then killed by a bear.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was a good ending. That.
Right? Barely by the skin of my teeth, man. All burnt up. I could just imagine the picture. I was just picturing it in my head. Some guy just just pedaling hard on a bike.
Yeah.
If he has any clothes, they're all burnt up. His hair's all singed and his eyebrows are freaking singed off, and he's just covered in soot, and he's just
Yeah, and then the city burns. The village burns because there's no one to sacrifice.
Right. Hell yeah. Fuck them. That's what they get. Those jerks. Kidnapping me, basically.
Yeah.
Not letting me get out of the damn village and trying to burn me alive.
I do wonder where the coach went, though.
He just went and hit it because he was there, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because he was there. So he must, I mean, it's not a very big village.
Yeah, he just hid it somewhere, probably, or just like drove it out of town and stashed it in the woods so that you couldn't figure out that, you know, he bailed, he dipped, like was still there and ditched you. What
Yeah, I mean, they have transport.
Yeah.
Because in the church, I think that when you made the ride skill check,
yeah,
the Ryland made that and he smelled horse manure, like fresh horse manure. So they've been keeping horses in there, so that they have horses somewhere.
Huh. Horses somewhere.
Yeah, but I don't know where. But obviously, because they don't want you, because everything took you there. Everything was set up.
Yeah, to keep me in town so they can freaking burn me alive. God damn. Yeah, that's way fun. I really like that. What other, like, choose your own adventures have you played?
No, that's the only. I got that starter set because I heard that was in it.
Yeah.
And I thought that sounds like a really cool way to learn it without having to do it in a group. Because it walks you through the character creation. So once you have an idea of like, all right, these is where the numbers come from. So like the allocation of scores at the start, I think that's their set scores. And because there's so many options, you can put them wherever you want, and then so it gives you quite a lot of options.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really good and really well written too. Felt like.
Yeah, my throat is talking for like 4 hours.
Right. Usually you can let the players do some of the talking.
You can usually do some stuff.
Yeah. Oh. That. That's that guy you were talking. Yes.
Yeah. Seth Sokowski. He reviews a lot of old D&D adventures as well.
Really?
Which I'd never run, but it's interesting to watch it and see how.
You only run 5e stuff, or?
Yeah, I've only run 5e and. Yeah, just 5e in this.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm looking at so many other systems just to try them out. Because there's one called Stars with That Number, which is like a proper spacefaring one.
Yeah.
And that's most of the main books are free for that. There's a post-apocalyptic one called Atomic Highway, which I haven't looked at. I only downloaded that the other day. But that's like a Mad Max type thing.
You ever looked at the cyberpunk stuff? I don't know if that's like a.
I think I downloaded one of them and looked through and it's like, God, this looks so. Just lots of. I mean, because Seth does cyberpunk stuff as well, and you review some of that.
Yeah. And
it does sound good. It's just it's another system, and learning the system is always the difficult bit.
Yeah, when I watched a video on it a long time ago, and it seemed really complicated, but after having played, you know, some, because that was before I had any experience with any TTRPGs. And I wasn't even like looking into D&D at all, and I was like, oh my god, that's way complicated. But I think now it would seem a little less intimidating.
Yeah, it's just about the different systems. That's the thing. I mean, that's why a lot of people just write stuff for 5e.
Yeah.
And they do like brand new settings and they bring in new classes and new magic and stuff, but it's still 5e because people know that system.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen a lot of that. Yeah, there's a lot of
actually, yeah. This Atomic Highway one, I'm just looking at there's like a full bit of the chapter, well, a lot of the book dedicated to like your car.
Yeah.
So it sounds like a proper Mad Max thing. Oh god, there's a lot of. Often just the best. If you look at a character sheet, that's sometimes the best way to get an idea of how complicated. Oh, it's not too bad. Yeah, armor. As you have skills marked out of 5. Your attributes are muscle, understanding, tenacity, appeal, nimbleness, toughness, and senses, which spells out mutants. Yeah, that looks all right. It's worth having a look at that, I think. Other thing, because it's all about what the one who runs it feels comfortable running.
Yeah.
And if it feels easy enough to teach people as you go, like without playing it. So, because I'd played D&D 5e myself. Well, I'd played a bit of it. And so I had an idea before I got the starter set and then started running it.
Yeah.
But even then, there's only so much you know from. There's only so much you can do when you play in it and then you jump to being a DM. Especially since it was about 2 years in between me playing it and then DMing it.
Wow.
So there was no experience at all. And then I thought, you know what, I want to play D&D. So I started a group at work. Put it on the work intranet and I got like about 15 people wanting to play it.
Nice. Yeah, D&D is so much fun. It's insanely fun. I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah. Is the yeah, I am very tempted by the Keeper rule book.
The what book?
The Keeper rule book for Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah. Keeper of arcane lore.
Yeah. Because apparently there's adventure in it as well, I think. It's got everything in that, like monsters and stuff. It tells you how to do backgrounds and spells and create characters. But the Investigator's Handbook just has more options in it. Yeah, expanded rules for creating characters. And over 100 occupations and skill descriptions.
Oh, dang. 100 occupations?
Yeah.
What? Oh.
Right. I think I need some food.
Yep. Thanks again, Gary.
Yeah, it was really good fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Later.
Yeah, see you there.
This. And I don't think this is working. Yeah, my buttons aren't working. Shit. Wrong thing. What's going on there? Intermission. Anyways, that was good fun. Thanks everybody for coming by. Hopefully we'll do some more stuff like this when we can't run a regular D&D game. So expect more of these in the future when, you know, we're filling up some extra time. But yeah, why is that so? Oh, I see. Yep. Well, I don't know why my backdrop that, but that's chill. Yes, no wonder it was so jacked up. But yeah, that was really fun. Super grateful for Gary for putting this together, for running that for me and Rylan. Like you said, he was talking for many hours straight. As far as what I'll be doing in the future, be doing some more streaming tomorrow night. It'll start about the same time as tonight's did, and that'll be on Twitch. So thanks everybody. I'm gonna go to bed. Oh, I gotta take a shower because I skipped my shower so that I could start sooner. But I'm gonna go to bed and I'll see you guys soon. Bye. I don't have an ending screen, so I'm just gonna end it. Just yeet it.